Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855. Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855. Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855. Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855. Why do 93%
you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR event of the year? Join us at the HR Professional Summit and Awards as we celebrate 10 years of excellence in human resources. It's happening on Friday, November 29th at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, Accra. Themed Agile HR, adapting to business change. This summit will feature thought-provoking sessions, expert insights, and award-winning HR leaders. With our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako, CEO of GCB Bank. You don't want to miss this. Our panel discussions will feature experts with practical experience of knowledge cutting across various industries. It's the ultimate gathering of HR professionals, decision makers, business executives, and innovators. Don't be left out. Register now by calling 020-800-7585. That's 020-800-7585. See you there. The HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024, brought to you by HR Certification Center. Are you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR event of the year? Join us at the HR Professional Summit and Awards as we celebrate 10 years of excellence in human resources. It's happening on Friday, November 29th at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, Accra. Themed Agile HR, adapting to business change. This summit will feature thought-provoking sessions, expert insights, and award-winning HR leaders. With our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako, CEO of GCB Bank. You don't want to miss this. Our panel discussions will feature experts with practical experience of knowledge cutting across various industries. It's the ultimate gathering of HR professionals, decision makers, business executives, and innovators. Don't be left out. Register now by calling 020-800-7585. That's 020-800-7585. See you there. The HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024, brought to you by HR Certification Center. Our Certification Center commits to a higher standard. HR Certification Center
All right. Good afternoon, good evening, and possibly good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. If you can hear me, please let me see a reaction, possibly give me thumbs up and in the chat session, and let me be sure that I am audible. If my colleague is online, Kwabena, kindly assist me. Let me be sure that I am audible. Right. Nalamle, thank you so much. Anyone else that can hear me? Esther, good, beautiful. So once again, it's a good evening, good afternoon, or good morning from us here at the HR Certification Center. You are welcome to our final information session pertaining our intake for cohort 41. Cohort 41 simply means that if you get registered to join, you would be part of our 41st cohort or 41st session. Technically, as a center, we have done the international HR certification for 40 times now, and so we are enrolling for our 41st session in 2 weeks' time. Technically, we are taking off on the 30th of November. All right, so my name is Pelpi Tehoda, and I'm the executive director for the center. I will be walking you through in a few minutes the requirements that are needed for you to enroll for any of these 3 certifications. I would also be walking you through the investment you need to make, as well as our commitment to ensuring that you go through the body of knowledge and prepare you to sit the international exam. Our mandate is not just for you to sit and pass the exam, but to equip you with necessary skill so you are able to practice as an HR professional or as a line manager or a business executive, as well as you display your credentials boldly against your name. So once again, you are welcome. Gideon Mensah, I see you. You are welcome to our session today, right?
Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855.
All right, so there we have it, a word from the HR Certification Center on the International HR Certification. So in the next couple of minutes, say about 15 minutes, we would be having this particular session. If you just joined us, you're welcome to our final information session on the International HR Certification. Of course, the chat column is open for you to type in your questions, but if you want to have that customized attention and response to your questions from us, directly from our admission coordinators, you want to send your questions, your inquiries to the number, which is 0244 122 855, 0244 122 855, and then we will be glad to assist you, respond to your questions directly, and also be able to assist you with the necessary information that will help you take a decision or make a decision on gaining your international HR certification. Right. I want to find out from our audience on the call this afternoon or this evening, what, in your estimation, do you think is the relevance of the HR function? When we talk about HR not in terms of a person, but HR in terms of the function. What do you think is the relevance of this particular function? Kwabena, if it's possible for our audience to speak directly, please do let me know. If it's not, I will encourage them to put their simple answers in the chat column. So Kwabena, I'll wait for your feedback first. Is it possible for our audience to engage directly? Kwabena, can you hear me? All right, so whilst I wait for my colleague to do that, you can type your answers or your response in the chat column. If what, in your estimation, in very simple terms, do you think is the relevance of the HR function?
Hi, madam, they can leave a comment.
Set some things on the screen. Don't repeat those ones for me. Yes, Kwabena, you can come.
Yes, they can leave a comment on the comment section.
But they cannot unmute.
They cannot unmute.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So to our audience, just in simple terms, don't repeat the 4 drivers I have put on the screen. In your own estimation, as an HR practitioner, as a business executive, as a line manager, what do you think is the relevance of the HR function? Maybe possibly the best answer will get some goodies from us. Maybe the best answer will get some goodies. Maybe some discounts will be flying today, so you may want to take advantage. Ophelia, please let me hear from you. Type in the chat column what you think is the relevance of the HR function. Kabana, if I'm not getting answers, does that mean that we do not have audience on the call? Okay, all right. So we will continue whilst I wait for the answers. Oh, Gideon, you just saved yourself. So HR function is to recruit and hire expert or employee for a certain organization. So Gideon is saying that in his estimation, the HR function is to recruit and hire expert or employee for a certain organization. Very beautiful answer. We will proceed whilst I get feedback from the others. It will not be good to reveal the reward or the favor for the best answer. All right. So I have put on the screen some simple drivers for the HR function. The first driver of an HR function is talent acquisition. And in talent acquisition, we are talking about an organization's ability to attract the right talent, the right employee, the right person, or the right team member for the organization. Talent acquisition. I mean, there are various ways of getting your talent into your company. It's either you are building the talent or you are buying the talent. By whatever means, one of the key drivers of an HR function is to acquire talent into the organization. And I'm sure in Gideon's response, that was vividly captured. The second driver of an HR function is employee engagement. And in employee engagement, we are talking about how to keep a talent, body, and soul together in the organization in very simple terms. People actually misconstrue employee engagement to mean that you are paying the people well, and so they are staying. In some organizations or in some jurisdiction, employee engagement is not just about the fat salary. It has to do with fulfilling the employee's purpose to stay with you. I'm getting some good answers coming in. I would attend to them shortly. Keeping the person's body and soul together, ensuring that you are fulfilling the person's purpose for joining your organization. If I am joining HR Certification Center as a business development person, I am joining because I feel HR Certification Center would offer me that opportunity to practice my career and also to develop myself in my chosen profession. And you will do that by paying me well, by training and developing me for future roles, and also ensuring that my necessary needs, psychological needs, my social needs, and all of that are taken care of. All right. And then the third driver we want to look at is the strategic alignment of the HR function. The HR function doesn't exist in isolation. You exist because you are building strategies to support the business vision. And so, of course, if our organization is going this direction, your HR vision or your HR strategy cannot go the other direction. And so your HR function must have that strategic alignment to where the business is going. And of course, in that strategic alignment, you must ensure that you build good strategy to hire the right people, to hire the right talent with the right capabilities to support where the business is going. And then the last driver of the HR function is growth and adaptability. Whoever you bring into the organization, whichever vision, whichever strategy you build for the HR function, is it driving growth? And growth, we are not talking about just the numerical growth of the business, but also we are talking about the people growth of the business and how adaptable is the HR function to the business landscape. Now, in my one of my engagement with some of our students, I will mention that the business landscape is changing very thick and fast. Things are happening every day. Sometimes you build a 3-year strategy or you have a 3-year plan. And by the time you wake up in the like the first year of your strategic plan, things have changed and you have to adapt. You have to go back to the drawing board and be sure that you revisit your strategy and align it to where the business is going. So this basic, or let me say this all-encompassing 4 drivers of the HR function is the reason we are on this call. As an HR practitioner, you cannot get to the top. You cannot be relevant to any business without understanding the framework of these drivers. You might be an HR specialist, but you must understand the broad aspect of the HR function to be able to function properly as a specialist. And so one of the key things we would be looking at in the course of our discussion is the fact that once you get to a certain position in your HR career, so say before you become an HR manager, now there's a new regulation that says that you must be certified. You must hold that credential for you to earn a position as an HR manager. In the past, it wasn't so. You could rise up through the ranks and get an HR manager. But per the new regulation of HR management in Ghana, it says that you cannot be an HR manager without holding a credential. And if you're an HR person, you must hold an HR credential to prove that you understand the terrain you are working in, you understand the function you have chosen legally to work in. All right. And so we would provide you with the necessary information on how you can get certified to become that HR manager. So at the HR Certification Center, we have the mandate from the certification body. So technically what we do is to provide tuition. I'm sure a couple of us on the call, we appreciate the fact that we have chartered accountants, we have chartered marketers, we have certified project professionals, we have all kinds of certification these days. And it's same with the HR certification. And so we have the mandate to provide 3 broad certifications now. And these certifications are stand-alone certifications. What it means is that you can hold an aPHRi, you can hold a PHRi, you can hold an SPHRi, and still be qualified to practice. You don't need to hold all 3 to be qualified to practice in Ghana. If you are at the entry level of your career, all you need is an associate professional in human resources international. If you are the mid-level of your career, all you need is a professional in human resources international. And if you are the strategic level of your career, you need the SPHRi to be able to practice. All right. So these certifications are globally recognized qualifications from the Human Resource Certification Institute. So the Human Resource Certification Institute, headquarters in Virginia, USA, is the certification body. So what we do is to provide tuition, to train you, to give you the necessary skills to assist you and prepare you for the international exam. So once you go through the exam and you pass, you gain your international certification from PHRi. And so globally, these certifications are recognized in 125 plus countries. Every year we have additions. I think some 2-3 years ago, it was about 120 countries, and then more countries are joining in the certification program. So the PHRi, which is a certification body, is over 50 years in certification. Arguably, PHRi is the oldest certification body. We have other certification bodies headquartered in US. We have the local branch right here in Ghana, and we have another one in the US. But arguably, PHRi is the oldest certification. Of course, for a business to sustain itself for 50 years means that they are solid on the ground, and then we gain our certification from them. For those of us who are interested in reading more about the certification body, you can log on to www.phrci.org. Now, why should us, those of us on the call, why should we yearn to pursue professional certifications? And for that matter, why should we yearn to pursue professional certification in HR? First of all, a professional certification is a demonstration of your mastery and commitment to professional ethics and standard. In every profession, there is a code of conduct, or there's an ethical code of conduct that we must all abide by. If you're in the medical field, there's a code of conduct. If you are a lawyer, there's a code of conduct you must abide by. If you're a marketer, if you're a chartered accountant, there is a professional code of conduct that you must abide by. And so is it for the HR certification. You gain that mastery after going through the body of knowledge. And of course, the body of knowledge is not a walkover. We take our time to prepare you for 6 months, making sure that you gain the necessary skills, you gain the necessary mastery to be able to practice in the HR profession. All right. Secondly, professional certifications build for you technical expertise to respond to key issues. Now, you and I could tell that if you are a chartered accountant, it's totally different, your level of knowledge or your level of expertise when you are just an accountant. All right. And so for the HR certification program, you build for yourself that technical expertise to respond to key issues. And key issues, we are talking about issues on labor regulations, issues on employee engagement, issues of compensation, both international compensation, or talking about expatriate compensation, and all the technical issues you find in the human resource function, which of course you wouldn't get from the theories we are taught in the classrooms. Of course, the body of knowledge is that detailed to build for you that expertise. And then lastly, you build for yourself some cross-cultural competence. And cultural competence, we are talking about the different jurisdictions you have to manage as an HR person. Of course, we have multinational businesses, we have international assignments that we relate with. And of course, if your business is not just focused on Ghana, you know what we are talking about by the cross-cultural competence. How do you become an HR manager over a business that has a branch maybe in West African countries, other West African countries, in East African countries, in the European market, and all of that. You have to build for yourself that understanding of the different jurisdictions to be able to manage that. Now, with all of these importance, or with all of these reasons, employers tend to prefer certified candidate or certified talent over non-certified talent. Now, we are not by this saying that if you have just a first degree or a second degree, you will not get work. But of course, but where the business landscape is going and the understanding that employers have of professional certifications, if you appear for that job interview and then there's another candidate with an HR certification, obviously the employer would go for the certified professional over a non-certified professional. Now, if you're just joining us, you're welcome to our final information session on the International HR certification. This is the final call for our 41st cohort, starting on the 30th of November. And so we are building for you some information regarding your decision to enroll for the 41st cohort. I mentioned the 3 different certifications that we run at the HR Certification Center. And so I will take my time to walk you through these 3 certifications, all right? And so the first one on your screen is the Associate Professional in Human Resources, the Associate Professional in Human Resources, which we call simply the aPHRi. Now, let me take my time a bit to explain the I, all right? Because I'm sure that for those of us that are familiar with the HR field, you have seen aPHR somewhere, you have seen PHR somewhere, you have seen SPHR somewhere, and you've also seen the one with the I, all right? So I mentioned that the certification body is HRCI, headquartered in Virginia, USA. And so these certification actually originated from the US. And so some years ago, they were just doing certification on the American law or the American system. And so it was simply called aPHR, PHR, or SPHR. And so wherever you see that without the I, it means that content is skewed towards the American laws. And so you'll be examined on the American laws when it comes to employment, all right? But some years back, of course, it makes sense for the certification body to, take their time to roll out this program into other markets. So for those of us in the other markets apart from the US, we jumped onto the I. The I simply means international. And so other countries doing the certification other than US are rolling out on the international version. The international version would test your knowledge on the employment laws of your country. And so for that matter, if you are studying this program from Ghana, you would be examined on the employment laws of Ghana, which is the labor law. And if you're studying it from elsewhere, say Nigeria, you would be examined or you'll be tested on the employment laws of Nigeria. So that is the simple differentiation between the certification with the I and the certification without the I, all right? So for the aPHRi, if you are here and your work focus or your role focus is more administrative, or your work focus is more operational, and you are the entry level of your career. Entry level, we are talking about 0 years of experience or less than 2 years of work experience. You qualify to enroll for the Associate Professional in Human Resources. So for this particular one, you don't need any degree. Neither do you need any work experience at all. Or if you have work experience less than 2 years, you qualify to enroll for the Associate Professional in Human Resources. So possibly you're on the call and you're saying that you just finished first degree University of Ghana. Can you enroll for any of our certifications? The answer is yes. You qualify to enroll for the Associate Professional in Human Resources. And I mentioned that these are all stand-alone certifications. So you can hold an aPHRi and still be recognized to practice at the entry level of your HR work. And so you would be going through 6 different modules. For the Associate Professional in Human Resources, you go through 6 different modules for 4 months. The first module is HR operations, and HR operation is looking at the administrative aspect of the HR function. You will go through recruitment and selection. We're talking about how do we get people into our organization. And then module number 3 will look at compensation and benefit. These people that have taken a decision to work with us, how do we compensate them holistically? We are not just talking about the monthly salary we pay them, but we are talking about other benefits, both mandatory and non-mandatory. How do we compensate them holistically so they get to work with us? Then module number 4 is looking at human resource development and retention. The person came in with a certain capability. After some time, the capability may not be 100% relevant. How do you develop the person in order to retain the person to work with you? That's module number 4. And then module number 5 is looking at employee relations, health, and safety. People want to work. They want to work in a safe environment. They want to feel protected. They want to be heard. They want to be taken into consideration. They want to work with other level-headed human beings, not people that would discriminate against them. And so your issues of employee relations will be looked at in module number 5. Issues of health and safety is big on the radar of the HR Certification Institute, all right? And so we want to ensure that you have a safe environment to work with, not just for those of us working in the manufacturing firm, but also for any other firm at all you're working in. Issues of health, employee health, and their safety. And then, of course, module number 6 would be the labor laws of Ghana and the ILO regulations. Like I mentioned, 6 modules in 4 months, and then you're done with the Associate Professional in Human Resources, all right? So we come to the mid-level of the HR profession and what certification you can possibly have to buttress or to enhance your capabilities in that field. And so if you are here and your work focus is more administrative and operational HR, and then you have a first degree, which is bachelor's degree, plus 2 years work experience, or you just have a diploma, but you have more than 2 years of work experience, you qualify to enroll for the professional in human resources, all right? And so for those of us who are like HR officers, we are like supervisors, line managers with 2 years or more work experience, you qualify to enroll for the professional in human resources. And just as the aPHRi, you would also be going through 6 modules, but this time the professional in human resources is 6 months. aPHR is 6 modules, 4 months. PHR is 6 modules, 6 months. And the modules are business management. It is very critical for an HR practitioner to first of all understand the business environment that you work with. What is my business into? How do we make money? How do we serve our customers? Where do we even find our customers? What decisions do we take to ensure that our business is thriving, our business is successful? and that our business is liquid enough for us to keep serving our stakeholders. So that's the first module you would go through. Very key and very important. Actually, it is said that if you're an HR manager and you do not understand the business you support, your HR decisions, your HR strategies can never work to support the business that you're working with. So it's important for you to appreciate that business environment. And then we move on to module number 2, which is workforce planning and talent acquisition. So in professional and human resources, we are not only looking at how do we acquire the talent, but before we even acquire the talent, we need to plan our workforce. So say, for example, we are hinging on to the end of the year 2024, and then we are, some of us are actually in strategy mode for 2025. So for the year 2025, we must understand where the business is going. If our business is towing this line, how many people do I need in this organization in HR capacity to work with where the business is going? So let's say, for example, our business says that we want to increase revenue by 10%. How do we increase our revenue by 10%? Is either we are pricing more so we get enough money, or we are increasing our sales so we get enough money. Whatever the decision that is taken, the HR manager or the HR support or the HR director must come to sit and say that, okay, because of where the business is going, I need XYZ talent, and I need them in so and so capacity to be able to deliver on the business strategy or the goal of the business for 2025. So that's your workforce planning. How many people do I need? At what point do I need them? Do I need all of them in full-time employment, or I can take a certain percentage for full-time employment and I'm getting the rest on part-time employment or outsource or whatever? And then do I need all of them during the year, or I would have to need some of them for just 6 months? And what capacity? Do I need them maybe at the mid-level? Do I need them to be strategists? Do I need them to be specialists? You have to take all of those decisions, and then you are able to properly place your talent for any given business calendar year. All right, then we move on to module number 3, which is employee development and engagement. I think I explained that in the associate professional, but of course, for every module, it may be same for maybe the associate professional, it may be same for professional, and it may also be same for the senior professional. But the degree or the level of content, the level of teaching, the level of delivery is totally different. Then module number 4 for the professional in human resources is total rewards. And total rewards, we are looking at total compensation. Then module number 5 is employee relations and risk management. How do you mitigate the risks that are associated with your business, or of course, your people or your talent? Then module number 6 will look at the labor laws of Ghana and the ILO regulations. So that is it for the professional in human resources. Then we move on to the senior professional in human resources, what we call the SPHRi. Also, for this particular certification, you go through 6 modules for 6 months. Your first module is leadership and strategy. I mentioned from the beginning that the business landscape is changing very thick and fast, and you are asking yourself, what is leadership, what is strategy doing in HR certification? It's important for us to appreciate where the world is going. Success is no longer about technical skill. It's actually the combination of technical skill and soft skill. And if there is anything we know about today's generations, we are demanding different things at different times. And we are very diverse, very complex people in our workspace. And so if you are that HR manager, you are that HR director, you have to understand how to lead people. You lead people differently because they want different things. You may have 3 people in your marketing department. They all want different things. They all want to be developed differently. So how do you lead them? How do you build your strategy, both for the business and for the HR function, so you are competitive, so you are relevant to where the business is going? So that is issues of leadership and strategy. And then module 2 will look at workforce planning and talent acquisition. Module 3, employee development. Module 4, total rewards. 5 is employee relations and risk management. And then module 6 will look at the labor laws and the ILO regulations. Like I mentioned, some of the modules may look similar, but content-wise, totally different. It's like studying core maths in Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. But of course, the content is totally different from what you experience in Form 1 and what you are possibly experiencing in Form 3. 6 modules, 6 months, and then you are done with the senior professional in human resources, all right? So apart from taking you through the 6 modules, we also, as a center, of course, I mentioned that our focus is not just to help you pass the exam, but our focus is to ensure that you are properly skilled or you are properly equipped to practice in the HR function. And so we take you through the 6 modules as required by the certification body, but we also take you through special workshops. And these special workshops are carefully crafted to ensure that you are well grounded for the HR practice. And so the first workshop we take you through is business finance knowledge for HR professionals. As practicing HRs, we've been accused that we don't understand figures. We don't understand the mathematics of the business. And so they are always passing on the quality things to us, but not the quantity things to us. And so we will take you through how you can understand or appreciate the business finance or have enough knowledge to be able to advise your people, all right? The second workshop is focusing on social security and pensions management, what we call here SNIT. In other jurisdictions, it's not SNIT. The globally accepted name is social security and pensions management. You are working with the people, they will come to you with issues of their salary, their benefits, and all of that. At the end of their work year, for Ghana, 60 years, they have to go on retirement. You have to start prepping them before the 60 years before they go on retirement. And so we equip you with necessary knowledge on how you can handle your older workforce towards their retirement, and even the younger ones, how you can guide them with some savings or investment advice towards the end of their work life with you. Then workshop number 3 will look at ethics and integrity management. Very big on the radar, especially because of the workforce we are handling. They tell you half truth, and then you have to find out through background checks that whatever they said was a lie. How do you manage all of these things? And then workshop number 4 will look at HR analytics and metrics. I mentioned that we've been accused that we only speak in plain language. We don't talk figures, we don't talk data. So one of our workshops is to help you appreciate, the analysis behind every decision. So before you present that budget to your CEO regarding training your people, you need to appreciate the data. What is informing the decision to take this training? And at the end of the training, how do we measure the impact of the training on the business? So we take you through all of that information. So these are the workshops that you would be going through with us as part of your learning with the center. Now, right here on your screen, we want you to appreciate our College of Facilitators, very seasoned HR practitioners and business leaders, carefully sourced to help you go through your 6 months of study. I mean, on the screen, we do not have anyone that is not practicing HR. Some are qualified lawyers as well as HR practitioners. We have close to 20 years of experience in the HR field, and so they bring all of this knowledge to bear. Of course, 90% of them are certified HRs, and for those that are not certified, they are lawyers, and we source them to teach you module number 6, which is the labor laws of Ghana. So with all of that, or all of these things that I am saying, why is it important for you to choose the HR Certification Center as your learning partner for your HR certification credential? First of all, we have flexible learning options for you, tailored for your comfort. We understand that you're busy professionals and you cannot commit to studying with us in person all the time. Our in-person classes are on Saturdays and our online sessions are on Sundays. And the beautiful thing about the HR Certification Center is that you can alternate your learning options. So every weekend, you take a decision where and how you want to study. Either you want to, go online on Sunday. It's totally left to you to make that decision. And also, we've taken into consideration the people we work with, and so we offer you flexible payment option. You are allowed to spread your payment over the 6-month period. And so you have that flexible option of paying. We also offer you a strong alumni network. And let me stress here that the HR Certification Center is 10 years in HR certification. And we have tutored over 4,500 practitioners through our hands. And I mentioned that this particular information session is towards our 41st cohort. We have done 40 successful cohorts over the 10 years. All right. We also offer you practical knowledge-based workshops to augment the content areas. And I have mentioned those workshop areas to you already. As a way of supporting you to sit and pass your exam, we expose you to multiple mock sessions, prep and tutorial sessions. We also have one-on-one prep towards your exam. So you finish the program, we take you through the group tutorials, and when you select a date to sit the exam, we also would have the one-on-one engagement with you just to ensure that you are ready and comfortable to sit the exam. And we say this all thanks to our past candidate, that as a center, we have an exceptional pass rate of 84%. So out of every 100 candidates we present, some 84 would make it at first sitting, and the others would make it at the second sitting. So 84% pass rate for us as a center. It is important to also note that the HR Certification Center is the approved provider right here in Ghana. And so the easiest way to check is to log on to www.hrci.org, which is a certification body, and type in HR Certification Center. You would find us as the approved provider for these certifications, and our approved provider number is right here on your screen, is number 721443. That is our approved provider number. And every year we work hard, submit our documents for review, and then we get the renewal of these status. Now, right here on your screen also, some of the companies we have worked with for the certification, both individuals and those who join as corporate organizations. And it's important to note that every cohort, we have companies sponsoring their HR team or their support team to come through the certification program. And so we've worked with companies such as Talo, EcoBank, Olam, MTN, Ghana Gas, APSA, GCB, Zoom Lion, Toyota, SynLab Ghana, University of Ghana, Parliament of Ghana, Hollad, Enterprise. And technically, almost all the banks have gone through our program for their international certifications. But the beautiful thing about the HR Certification Center is that we have worked with both private and public firms. As much as we reckon that our certification is the international certification, we've had public firms coming to us to study. Almost every cohort, we get candidates from ECG. We get from some of the traditional banks as well coming to study with us for their certification in HR. On the screen, we have our 2020 certified professionals and some 2021 certified professionals. Now, beyond COVID, we've had a lot more of our candidates sitting the exam. We know in the bane of COVID, people were not just too certain whether how the world is going to go or how the world of business was going to go. And so the number for certification at that time wasn't that much, but 2021 and into 2022, we've had a lot more candidates certifying. And so the second slide shows our 2022 and 2023 certified candidates. End of 2024, we would also publish that of 2024. And I'm pretty sure that for those of you who have been following our social media handles, you see us post on monthly basis some of the candidates that have gone through the program. All right. So let's look at our registration fees. If you're here to do the associate professional in human resources, all you need is 1,050 Ghana cedis per month. Every month you pay to us 1,050. You spread it over the 4 months, and you are done with your aPHR program. So 1,050 every month for 4 months. The professional in human resources is 1,400 per month for 6 months. The senior professional is 1,600 per month for 6 months. Registration is very simple. You pay 150 cedis, and then we issue you with a registration voucher. You go online and register in very simple steps, and then you are issued your admission letter. The fee payment includes your tuition, obviously, your reading materials, trial questions, your prep, your tutorials, and the mock exam. So everything is included in your tuition fee. Once you pay, you have access for all of these things. And we mentioned that this is our 41st cohort starting on the 30th of November, exactly 2 weeks. We are taking off with our 41st cohort. And so registration is still ongoing. So once you register, we put you on a WhatsApp platform, and then we start doing some assessment. And so your other colleagues are already on that platform. Every day we do some assessment leading to take off on the 30th of November. All right. So let's look at certification. At the end of everything, at the end of the 6 months of tuition, you are required to write your certification exam. And the exam is a one-off exam. It is written throughout the year, except for Saturdays and Sundays. That is if you are testing in person. The testing center is at the Total House. Total House is adjacent CD House or opposite British Council. The exam can be written in any country. You can study right here in Ghana. You've traveled to the US, you want to take your exam there, you can do it. You've traveled to Nigeria, you want to take the exam there. Wherever you are, you can take the exam. The exam fee for the aPHR is $400, and the question, you are supposed to write 90 multiple questions in 1 hour 30 minutes. 90 multiple questions, 1 hour 30 minutes. For the professional in human resources, you are writing 115 questions in 2 hours 45 minutes. The exam fee is $495. For the senior professional, is 140 questions. 140 questions in 3 hours, 15 minutes. The exam fee is $595. Of course, you don't need to bother about the exam fee. Once you're done with your 6 months, you have enough time to prep to sit the exam. The pass mark that is required to pass the certification exam is 72%. So out of 100, you're not supposed to, or you're not required to have all 100 correct to be able to pass. I know other certifications is 60, others 70, others 80, but for the HR certification exam is 72%. That is the pass mark. I mentioned that our pass rate as a center is 84%. Right. Now, how do we register? Very simple. All you need is your registration voucher, which is 115. And so if you're ready to register, just send us a hi on 0244 122 855. Just send hi, I want to register. And then the admission officers will assist you to register. Pay 150, you have your registration voucher, you go online and you register in very simple terms. Very simple. And so I know you have questions, you want some clarifications. You can type it in the chat column. I will read it out. Or if you want to have a personalized conversation with us, send your questions and inquiries to 0244 122 855. So I see a question, Kwabena, if you can project it for me. Please, can a student apply? If you're studying for your first degree, you can apply for the associate professional in human resources. So of course, I am open for the questions and I would provide answers to them. Anything that bothers your mind on the international HR certification. But Kwabena, if you can help me, I want to take the responses to the question I asked from the very beginning. If you can assist me with that. I saw some interesting answers. So Gideon, I read out Gideon's answers. It says HR function. Please go back to Gideon. HR function is to recruit and hire experts or employees for a certain organization. Let me take the next one. Andrew says HR function is to make sure all employees work in a safe environment. That's correct. Emilia says to recruit, select, and maintain employees, or by extension, retain employees. Emma is saying that HR function is to recruit the right people for a job, train the person, and also reward the person. Beautiful. Some good answers are coming. Esther is saying that to recruit talents, promote staff development and well-being, whilst ensuring that the activities of staff are in line with the organization's long-term or short-term goals and policies. Esther, I'm sure you're a candidate for an SPHR. You can send us a WhatsApp and let's engage you further. So Nyamiche Owari is saying diversity and inclusion in HR plays a key role in fostering diversity and inclusion by promoting diverse recruitment and implementing equitable policies. As organizations become more global, HR ensures inclusive environment that value all employees, enhancing creativity, innovation, and collaboration, which ultimately would contribute to building a modern, sustainable, and high-performing workplace. This is like cheeses. Nyamiche, I am pretty sure that you didn't get that answer from ChatGPT, but all the same, very detailed answer to that. You may want to send us a WhatsApp and then we can engage further. All right. Kwabena, is there any answer to see? Okay, so for those who sent us the responses to the questions I asked, okay. Madam, please, as a student offering first degree in HR, what's the best advice to a successful career in the sense of certification? Gideon, I would love to speak with you backdoor. So please do send us a WhatsApp on 0244122855. But as a student pursuing your first degree, I will advise you take the Associate Professional in Human Resources and practice with it. Whilst you advance in your career, you may come back to do either the professional or the senior professional. But it's important that you pursue a first degree in HR and also have a certification. It puts you steps ahead of your contemporaries, all right? But engage with us backdoor and let's have a detailed chat, all right? Okay. So Kwabena, do we have any answer to any question to see? Sorry. Okay, right. So for those who engage with us by responding to the questions, we are offering you 100% discount on registration. For those who engage with us, you are getting 100% discount on registration. What it means is that you don't pay the 150 cedis for the registration. So you kindly, so I'm sure Kwabena would have taken down the names. You kindly send us a WhatsApp and let's get to give you that 100% discount on the registration. So all you do is to pay your tuition fee and bingo, you are in the program. All right. So it's 5 o'clock. We promise we're going to do this in 1 hour. I am sure we do not have any questions as at now, but anytime you have anything bothering your mind on the certification, the path to go, and you are torn between which decision to make, do reach out to us on 0244122855. That is our hotline, and around the clock, we are available to respond to all your questions and inquiries. I do appreciate your time. You've given us 1 hour of your time this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are joining from. We are so much grateful, and we hope to see you in class. Do have a good evening.
Are you ready? Are you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR event of the year? Join us at the HR Professional Summit and Awards as we celebrate 10 years of excellence in human resources. It's happening on Friday, November 29th at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, Accra. Themed Agile HR, adapting to business change. This summit will feature thought-provoking sessions, expert insights, and award-winning HR leaders. With our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako, CEO of GCB Bank. You don't want to miss this. Our panel discussions will feature experts with practical experience of knowledge cutting across various industries. It's the ultimate gathering of HR professionals, decision makers, business executives, and innovators. Don't be left out. Register now by calling 020-800-7585. That's 020-800-7585. See you there. The HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024, brought to you by HR Certification Center. Are you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR event of the year? Join us at the HR Professional Summit and Awards as we celebrate 10 years of excellence in human resources. It's happening on Friday, November 29th at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, Accra. Themed Agile HR, adapting to business change. This summit will feature thought-provoking sessions, expert insights, and award-winning HR leaders. With our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako, CEO of GCB Bank. You don't want to miss this. Our panel discussions will feature experts with practical experience of knowledge cutting across various industries. It's the ultimate gathering of HR professionals, decision makers, business executives, and innovators. Don't be left out. Register now by calling 020-800-7585. That's 020-800-7585. See you there. The HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024, brought to you by HR Certification Center.